you all. I see you all the time talking shit.
Talking that good shit.
I got some things I want to say too about what you said about us in the 90s. So,
Yeah,
I know, right?
Okay.
talking to you, buddy.
Oh.
All right, welcome back to the show, everyone. How you guys doing? Doing good? Got a bunch of, first of all, happy new month. Let's get into this. A bunch of you requested that I check out this video, and normally I don't check out Gil's Arena or Gilbert Arenas on YouTube in general, but enough of you asked me to do this that I figured there must be something to it, and the title is interesting enough for me. Tim Hardaway snaps on Gil's Arena for trashing the 90s. Yeah, I'm here for this one. Tim Hardaway, man. Tim Hardaway is a straight shooter. He's going to say what he feels, what he believes, and that's why I'm here for it. Unfortunately, he's going to be on Gil's Arena, which means it's going to be like 4-on-1 or 5-on-1, and we'll see how this goes. But hopefully Tim at least gets to say some things that he wants to get off his chest. I don't imagine Gilbert Arenas like digesting it or changing his behavior in any way. But let's see what it is. No long intro. I just want to see what this is. So let's get right into it. As I always do, I'm going to link the original video down below in the description for you. If you want to check out the channel or you want to check out this video without my commentary, go for it. Everyone else, please leave this video a like. That's what pumps it up into the algorithm. Let's do this.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. I
Timmy.
appreciate you all. I see you all the time talking shit.
Talking that good shit.
I got some things I want to say too about what you said about us in the 90s. So,
Yeah, I know,
Let's do it.
Okay.
talking to you, buddy.
Oh.
Yeah. All y'all. Yeah, I'm talking to all y'all. Yeah, I got some words from.
Yeah, see Gilbert's trying to play around. He's like, no, I'm talking to you, man. Look how uncomfortable Gilbert looks. Oh, man.
Chris Mullin, Mitch Richmond, all the other old guys. They said I was coming on. He was like, yeah, make sure you give it to him. I said, no question. You know, everybody talking about Mike. Mike is the GOAT. Mike was that bad motherfucker. Mike, you know, had it going on. Mike didn't let people beat him. Mike didn't, he went on about his business. He didn't let people, you know, beat him, and he knew how to play the game. But you all think that we couldn't play. You say, you know, he playing against some scrubs, or he playing against some guys that can't play, and we let him do this and we let him do that. No, man. A lot of you guys couldn't play in our fucking era.
Ooh.
Y'all couldn't play in our era.
Any guys on this couch?
Gil could.
Okay.
We would have beat his ass. We would have knocked him on his ass.
I would have went right by you.
I was too tall for y'all.
No. You probably wouldn't have made it out because you would have been in the game. You would have been in the game because you wouldn't have had that mentality to make it out.
That's true.
But Gil,
That's true. Yeah, guys. 90s was a different time. It was a different time, man.
he probably could have hung. Oh yeah, it was. You know, when we was growing
I
up.
couldn't play against Eglo and all them motherfuckers.
Hey,
Craig
hey,
Elo.
Man, you better stop
you
Tim
talking
Hardaway.
about you talking about Ego?
Stop this shit.
You talking about Eglo from the Cleveland Cavaliers?
Yes, all that.
Elo. Jesus.
That motherfucker was nice.
Yeah, it was.
That motherfucker was nice.
Just
Your
stop,
game was
man.
all right.
Yeah, see, this is it. They oh, man, this is it. This is the problem. They just hear old names. They hear names like Elo or Hershey Hawkins or Hornacek, and all they think is Jordan beat them. They have no idea who these players were as individuals or how good they were. They just see the clips and they go, oh yeah, well Jordan busted their ass, so they couldn't be that good. No, they were good. That's what made it so awesome that Jordan busted their ass.
But you know, you think it was nice.
man, that
Your
just
shit was
stop.
all right.
Let's just stop. Let's stop.
Yeah, your shit was all right.
It was a couple of good. It was a couple of y'all back in '85 from '89.
85, 89. Tim Hardaway was drafted in the 90s,
A
dude.
couple of good. You was one of them. Had the Tim Hardaway crossover and all that. But come on, man.
Go ahead. Name another guy. I can't hear you.
I would name Mark Price, wherever he's standing.
Mark Price was a bad motherfucker. He don't get his
he
just
was.
due.
Yeah,
But
he
where would
was.
he be ranked in this era if he was
Rank with this here, it's a lot of motherfuckers couldn't stay with Mark Price. Mark Price was a fast white guy. He could stop on the dime, shoot it in your face, split the double team, knew how to pass the ball, knew how to play the game. Mark Price was a bad motherfucker.
A speedy
Yeah,
car.
he'd be top 5 point guard in any era, in my opinion. Mark Price now, or if he was in the '80s, in the '90s, he was whooping it. Shoot,
Caucasian, as you said.
You know, Rod Strickland, another
Rod
motherfucker.
Strickland.
Kevin Johnson, another motherfucker.
Kevin Johnson.
yeah.
All right, we had some bad motherfuckers in our era.
No, the 90s is fine. My complaint was the 80s. So obviously I was talking about the 80s. So there's this.
Bullshit, you were. Bullshit. Oh, man. See, this is what I was worried about. I was worried about a decoy because that's what Gilbert always does. He always finds a way to roach out of a situation, and that was his roach out move right there. It's not the 90s because we got a guy representing the 90s who's angry right now. No, it was the 80s, so it was before you. No, he's been ripping the 80s, 90s, even the early 2000s sometimes, which is weird because that's his own era. But Gil basically will annihilate any era that's not like whatever he has to do to credit LeBron James, he'll do it to boost him up. You know what I mean? Anyways, I'm sorry. Hey, I just want to listen. This is the roach out move, okay? Identify it well because you might have some friends who do this too, that they'll just have a roach out move.
Another motherfucker.
Kevin Johnson.
All right, we had some bad motherfuckers in our era.
No, the 90s is fine. My complaint was the 80s. So
Excuse me.
obviously I was talking about the 80s. So there's this illusion about the hand check. And I always use you as an example. And I said, if the hand check was so dominant, then how can the scoring guard come in as rookies tearing everybody's ass up, right? So there was only a few back then, Isaiah Thomas, Kevin Johnson, and then you. And I'm saying if the hand check was what everyone said was, when the scoring guard, the guy who comes downhill, when he came into the game, why wasn't it affecting him?
See, and that's where this is already stupid. It's a whole different conversation already. If the hand, okay, Tim Hardaway averaged probably like, I don't know, 21, 22 points a game. That's awesome, okay? In that era of basketball, that's a lot of freaking points because the total points was around 90, so he's contributing a lot. Now, a guy like Tim Hardaway, if there was no hand check used against him, easy 30 a night. Easy 30 a night. So that should be the point. Like, well, I would average 10 more a game, you know, without the hand check. But even with the hand check, he was a badass enough dude where he can still average in the 20s.
I'm gonna tell you this. When we came into the game, Kevin Johnson, myself, even Mark Price, we was fast enough and quick enough, and we can handle the ball. And we used to get out of the offense. And we used to not run offense. If you was gonna hand check us, we used to not run offense, and we used to take our man, so he had to understand, oh, these motherfuckers ain't running offense. These guys we gotta play them legit. Other guards, say like Derek Harper, he didn't have that, you know, those handles to get past somebody. Like Brandon, you and Brandon, y'all had handles to get past. If somebody picked you up, you laughing at them.
Yes, yeah.
Y'all laughing at them.
For sure.
So yeah, that's what it was. When they picked us up, we was laughing at them. Then they had to start picking us at half court.
See, so my theory was right. Like when people talk about the hand check, and I'm like, it only worked against guys who were running off, who had big men who were sitting there, you know, back to the basket, trying to run offense, so it's easy to hand check.
Exactly.
Somebody who's coming full speed, you can't do nothing.
No, you cannot.
Okay.
That's where the charge came into play. One, if someone's just going downhill full speed, someone just steps right in front of you and it's over. We saw this happen to so many young players. Tim Hardaway, though, he could zigzag and he could also play with his back to the basket because that was essential back then. Players nowadays don't know how to play with the back to the basket because they're not forced to. They can just face up, you know, eye to eye and just do their ISO stuff because, once again, there is no hand check. So it's just different.
So, Tim, I got a question for you. Prime Tim Hardaway versus Prime Gilbert Arenas.
Tim, any day.
Who's getting cooked?
I will kill him.
You would kill Gilbert.
First of all, you know what? I start taking him down low.
See?
This is what I do. In my mind, I say, I'm gonna post him up about 3 or 4 times.
Yep.
Put all this ass on his chest, move him, jump hook, turn around.
All that ass.
Oh yeah. I mean,
that's 90s style, man. Play inside out.
put all this on. Then I come at you.
What's funny is when I first started to play, I had your crossover down.
Yeah, I saw that.
And then my arms got too long and the shit was a little slow.
I want to go back to something you said. Obviously, you coached Brandon when you were with the.
What do you guys think? I think Tim Hardaway would bust his ass too, because he would. He'd be able to play down low, bust his ass, and then he'd be able to pop out and play some ISO moves.
Pistons. You said Mr. B could not play in the 90s. Brandon, do you agree or disagree with Tim saying you wouldn't be able to handle yourself in the 90s?
No, he said they would post me up.
Okay.
So that means I'll get post up and then I'll come down and I'll be able to do my thing.
Now
No, you'd have to learn how to post in return. In the 90s, he thinks he can just blow by everybody and get a wide open layup in the lane. He has no idea what 90s ball was like. You got 3 layers of defense to get through to get to that rim.
Brandon would have got beat up.
Yep.
He would got beat up. He like a lot of people don't understand. And ask your pops.
Yeah,
When
you
you
get
pass
hit.
and run through that lane, you got to be like a football player running through a line. Everybody's gonna touch you, and they might not touch you in a way that you want to be touched.
Hey,
I
yo.
mean, they hit you. They hitting ribs.
I believe it.
They hitting gut. You know, they putting a knee in your thigh.
Yep.
I mean, it was a lot of stuff going on
for sure.
back then.
They're pinching the side of your waist when you drive by, so you flinch and you hopefully turn the ball over. All this shit doesn't get seen, but it happened.
But I don't know if your body could have held up to that physicality.
Little ass boy. This is what he's saying. Now, I'm not saying he's saying it.
I was just as quick as AI. So
But you weighed 104 pounds, brother.
Too little.
But see, AI. You
Yeah, see, that's the thing. What he doesn't understand here is that if he was in the 90s and he was able to blow by the first layer of defense, the second layer would be there to hit him. And if he found a way to absorb those hits and get to the rim, he's got a big center waiting for him to throw him on the ground. Guys like Shaq, okay? David Robinson, Hakeem Olajuwon, Patrick Ewing, Dikembe Mutombo, they're all going to throw you on the ground. How many times is he getting back up? That's what I think is not being said clearly here, because it's not that you can't get to the basket once. Anybody can do it. But the idea of the 90s was, we're going to teach you a lesson so you don't keep coming back here. All right? Jordan was insane. That's why we loved him, because no matter how many times he got thrown to the ground, he kept coming back until the mid-90s, where he decided, you know what? Now that I'm in my 30s, I'm getting a little tired of having to pull myself up off the hardwood. Let me figure out another way. That's where he became the mid-range assassin. But all he's thinking about is speed. I'll get to the basket. I'll blow by my defender. But he doesn't know what's waiting for him is his face on the hardwood. You know, that hurts to fall like that and to have to keep getting up. It adds up. You end up injured.
gotta understand. AI used to duck around Karl Malone. When they was coming, he throw that ball up and duck. Or Charles Oakley and them guys, Terry Cummings. When he went to that hole, he didn't go into the hole like, yeah, I'm gonna take this hit.
For sure.
He went there like,
I'm just saying
because
quickness.
they was coming after him.
No, for sure. I'm just saying quickness.
But he was, of course, quickness.
See, that's the proof though. He's just thinking quickness. All I have to do is get past my guy. That's not it. You had 2 more layers of defense.
But we would have stopped. We would have stopped that. We would have ran you around 3,000 picks.
That's a fact. I believe that. That's a fact.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, brother, you would have been a bench player, huh?
But what makes that like basketball just fouling just a foul? Like jailhouse basketball, why is that considered good though?
The what?
The jailhouse basketball. Why is that considered good?
Because that's where we grew up. And believe me, I understand the changes. I understand the changes, the rule changes and everything, and I'm happy. I'm happy for them rule changes. Some calls, like, you know, you can say,
for sure,
man, that's not flagrant.
for sure.
Some of them not flagrant, but I do understand. I do understand. I mean, and another thing, you know, there's no real rivalries. Let's get it right.
Okay, before he moves on to the next topic, that whole like what makes that style of basketball so good, I want to give my answer, because my answer is pretty easy and simple. Every point felt earned. All right? It's like watching a game of soccer or football in the rest of the world. Every point is earned. Nothing is given. You know, now we have games that are 140 points a game. Like, 'cause sometimes I look at the scoreboards and I'm like, what the hell is this? That's not hard to earn those points. Those points are just being given, you know? Wide open shots, wide open layups, you know, 3-point contest, no defense. That doesn't feel the same. But back then, when somebody would put up 40 points and you watch how they go, you know, how they accomplish that while getting hit, thrown on the ground, back up, you know, 3-point plays with, you know, the Hardaway with a free throw. That felt really earned, and that's where heroes are made. You know, like we consider these guys like warriors out there battling. But it's just not that way anymore. So that's what made it special. It's not about the fouls. But because of that atmosphere, it felt like a gauntlet out there for people to score. And that was epic for us to watch, you know? It was awesome. It was awesome to witness.
You know, rivalries, like, you scrap it, you fight. They throwing blows.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care about their money. That's a rivalry. I watch guys go out there and they play the game, and then they talk so much shit to each other, and they think they gonna fight. Then after the game, hey man, great game, you know, and then hug and shit like that. I saw the Indiana Pacers, Detroit Pistons went up there and beat them in the play-in stuff, and then Indiana came in with their squad and busted Pistons' ass. And then the Pistons was like, yeah, we'll see y'all in a couple of weeks. I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah. I'm in front of TV, my popcorn, watching my son and stuff. They get their ass whooped. they talking shit to him. I said, you know, if I go back and put on my shit and suit up, I want to go fuck up Halliburton.
Ooh.
I want to go fuck him up.
Hey.
He talks so much shit.
Okay.
I want to go back and bust his motherfucking
I love it.
ass.
I love it. I love that shit. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah,
energy.
he talks
Yeah.
so much shit. I want to go back. I want to bust his ass.
So you,
Yeah, this is some Gen X shit right here. I love it. Don't talk trash unless you're gonna back it up. That was the way we were raised. Don't talk shit unless you're planning on backing it up. And if you don't back it up, you stop talking shit, you know, until you do. And then you might want to talk some shit. But if you lose, you shut up. You shut up. You congratulate the other player, the other team.
you want to
That's
bust
it.
Tyrese
Jersey on
Halliburton's
the
ass
knee
because
pad,
he talks too much.
Right. And he think he all that.
Do you think the reason that
does.
it's not as rough as it used to be is because the fine money is actually real versus back then you could hit somebody $100. Now it's $300,000-$400,000.
Right.
Listen, I don't hate you that much for $400,000.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Like I said, there's no rivalry. I see you know, thank you. All right, everything cool. Yeah, no question. It's the money.
Okay.
It's the money, man. I mean, you don't want to lose 300,000. I mean, that's 4 games. That could be 5 games.
Yeah.
You know.
The 92 Dream Team. Isaiah
no.
Thomas claims he was snubbed from the Dream Team. And I said the person that was actually snubbed was you
Killer Cross.
for Magic Johnson.
Killer Cross.
Because everybody on the team was all NBA players. The only people who wasn't all NBA at that time was Magic, Bird, and Christian Laettner. Isaiah Thomas wasn't an all-NBA player at that time. You were second team. So you was the one that was replaced for Magic. And I'm trying to figure out why was the news around him at that moment in time and not you?
Because this was the rumor. They came to Michael. They really needed Michael to play. They came to Michael, and like David Stern and the Olympic team, they came to Michael and said, "Yo, Mike, we really need you to play. We need for you to."
By the way, I just got to point it out. Did you see how now Gilbert has completely shifted the conversation? So Tim Hardaway came in here hot, wanting to get some things off his chest. Gilbert Arenas, he sidetracked it, the entire thing. He did it successfully too. Because for a second there, I forgot what the point of this video was. But yeah, he did it. He just, here, talk about this for a little while, Tim.
Just go global. And Mike said, all right, I will play only if Isaiah is not on the team.
Damn. So he really said that.
He said that to them.
Damn.
And then Magic was like, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, and you better believe Larry Bird and Pippen and Karl Malone and Stockton were all like, yeah, I'm good with that too.
And then what's really crazy is, God rest his soul, but the coach, he had trouble.
Chuck?
He had trouble with that because he wanted his guy on the team, Chuck Daly.
Yep.
He had trouble, but he knew it was a business too. And he wanted to be that first person to get that goal for the dream team and everything. So
it was the Pistons.
he had to be okay with it, but he wasn't okay with it.
Yeah.
But why wasn't you the one they were arguing for since you were the second? But like,
Right,
it wasn't like I get Isaiah, but
Right.
he wasn't even in the conversation as one of the best players in the NBA at that moment in time.
Yeah, but neither was Larry Bird. And you can argue Magic Johnson because he was retired because of HIV at that time. This was the first USA basketball team with the professionals involved. So they were going for the greatest that they can get. Tim Hardaway, dude, as much as I love Tim Hardaway, he had not proven himself to a level of Isaiah Thomas, and especially not Magic Johnson. Once again, no, Tim Hardaway is one of my favorites, but I think he would admit that too. Like, no, man, we're talking like these are the greatest to ever do it, So why would they talk about me? I mean, I do believe Tim Hardaway got in on the second team, the Dream Team 2, which is perfect. That's totally respectful. But yeah, the first time. Yeah, I would be looking at Magic too. Like, will you represent our country? Because he's represented the game of basketball for so long. Same with Larry Bird. Will you represent the country? Because the whole world knows of you, as far as representing the game of basketball. And then MJ, there's no doubt. Because not only does he represent the game of basketball, but he's currently in his prime.
You gotta also remember this. Magic went out because of health problems, AIDS. And after they found out he could still play, and I still think I did the right thing. And my buddies, they was like, "No, you shouldn't have done it." Gave him my starting spot in the All-Star game.
Absolutely the right thing.
We always got to remember this. If Magic was playing, he would have been first team all NBA. No question. He would have been on an All-Star team. He would have been starred. No question. So people got to understand that even though, it's real and it's not real. That's real. I live in a real world.
Yep.
I was always told the truth, and you got to handle it. And I understood that. So, I mean, that's the way it was. I didn't think nothing of it because that's Magic. I mean, without Magic and Larry Bird, come on, man.
No, I get it.
Yep.
All right, well, let's keep this thing moving. I want to go back.
Yep. That's something that, the younger generation might not understand as well, especially someone like Gilbert Arenas, who's just like a gimme kind of dude. But that's just called respect. Respect for your elders. Respect for those who came before you. And in this kind of situation, like he's talking when he gave up his starting spot in the All-Star game to Magic, dude, hell yeah. No brainer. that's as obvious as like what Vince Carter was trying to do for MJ in 03. Like, yeah, man, you give up that spot. Like, this is their last rodeo. You definitely give up that spot. Like, here, let's put the spotlight on you one last time, man. You know, that's a respect move. Thank you for everything you've done, man. You know, because let's be real, a guy like Vince Carter wouldn't be Vince Carter without Michael Jordan coming before him. You know, same like Mike Jordan can say the same about like Dr. J and others coming before him. You know, so you got to give respect to those people because they were major influences on your game. You know, it's cool. We all take from each other's game, but if you have the opportunity to thank that person and acknowledge it, you know, hey, I got this move and I got this move from you, man. Thank you very much. You know, that's just called respect. So yeah, of course Magic should have been starting, and that ended up being one of the greatest All-Star games of all time. One of my favorite, at least. It's very, very, very cool All-Star game. Seeing Magic out there one last time. And for the Olympics, hell yeah. Magic should be representing the country. Same like Bird. Even if they weren't in their prime anymore, doesn't matter. Does not matter. You know, what was Christian Laettner doing out there? That was just a representation of the youth, you know? But could there have been another player being put in that spot? Of course. You know, like in their prime at that very moment. Yeah, why not? But it was USA basketball. There was a structure to this. I don't know. This was a cool video. It's cool to see Tim Hardaway speak his mind. Unfortunately, it didn't last long because, you know, it got sidetracked real fast. But Tim Hardaway did come out there ready to dish it out. It's just unfortunate that I'm sure, like, you know, in a situation like this, a live podcast, that he's gonna walk away from this going, damn, I had so much more I wanted to say, you know. But you don't want to be a rude guest and just like, you know, ignore the direction of the conversation. He's the guest, so I get it. He's not in his home turf, so you just kind of got to go with the flow. But hopefully he speaks out on this stuff more, because I like hearing what Tim has to say. And he kind of bridges that gap between the 80s and the 90s just because of like the way he played, like the toughness that was in him. He was built tough like an 80s guard, but he could dribble, man. Damn. He had handles like we'd never seen, you know, like a more beefed up version of Isaiah Thomas. But Isaiah Thomas was still better all around, I think. Anyways, I could blab about this stuff all day. Cool video. Thank you for the suggestion, you guys. Hope you guys liked it. Like the video if you did. Subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this. Hit that bell notification if you want to get notified for my next drop, all right? I'll see you guys in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out, everybody.